shut up, you listen to my monkey mouth. There's a companion when you got pun on the canoa route. Hopped in a portal and got in a fight, Elias knocked him out. Bow, Naruto fighting style. Bow, UFC he tapped out. Bow, we win, we get crowned. Monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth.
Alright, what is up, Armchair Army? This is Joshua, Armchair Mixed Martial Arts. This is the 11th iteration, and on this episode we're going to be covering UFC 275. It's been an interesting week for your boy. My brother's about to be having a baby in the next few days. My kiddo's just growing like crazy. My dog's cute as ever. And I'm enjoying the shit out of doing the podcasting stuff. And so we're going to keep the dice rolling. Just got through recording the first episode of The Ones Who Woke Up, which is my newest podcast. Got a lot of stuff going, man. Got the website, got monkeymouthstudios.com up and going. Got a lot of neat stuff happening on the Armchair and on the Armchair MMA and the Monkey Mouth Studios side of things. Obviously, recently we got the video upgraded to where we're getting some better videos going. And so hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Like I said, I know I'm really enjoying doing it. But to the point, UFC 275 was a fucking fantastic fight card, man. From top to bottom, it was fantastic. I mean, even in the early prelims, I mean, hell, we had a girl in the early prelims get a performance of the night bonus. So it was literally fireworks from top to bottom. Yuri Prochazna won the light heavyweight title, took it from Glover, and this was a dog fight. This absolutely made it to my best fights list. It's one of those ones that's gonna go on for a long time. It's one of the best fights ever, man. Was back and forth, man. Yuri was taxing Glover on the feet for the longest. Glover was taxing Yuri on the ground for the longest, but as the fight went on, Glover started taxing Yuri on the feet, and Yuri started taxing Glover on the ground. It was crazy. It was crazy up until the very last minute, and Yuri wound up choking Teixeira with, like, no hooks in, no nothing, just big, strong guy choking a tired human being, and got the tap with like less than a minute left. I'm not exactly sure whenever it happened. Okay, it was 4 minutes and 32 seconds into the fucking fifth round, and so there was literally 28 seconds left on the clock whenever he got that, and it was just a war the whole time. Just as much respect as I could possibly ever have for both these guys. Put on a fantastic fight for us. I believe that Glover, he didn't defend it. He never got a defense with the belt, so he's probably not going to get an immediate rematch. And I know that Jan stopped Yuri on Yuri's way to the locker room and like shook his hand, and they had like a pretty fun exchange where Jan was like, man, I love you. I can't wait to like talk with you the way you just talked with Glover in the octagon. It's gonna be great. And Yuri like blew him a kiss, and I think that that's the appropriate next fight. I think that Yuri's gonna turn back another member of the old guard. I think that Yuri wins another war against Jan. I think that he's just that dude. He's got clearly good enough anti-wrestling, and he's able to get out of there. He's tough. Like he was able to make it off the ground several times against Glover Teixeira, which is something to be said. So I mean, that kind of, I believe, speaks for itself. Next for Glover, I mean, there's all kinds of crazy fights you can do for Glover. It'd be interesting to see, who's up there. I mean, I believe that Magomed Akhalev's got a fight coming up. Alexander Rakic's got a fight coming up. But I mean, there's all kinds of guys. Paul Craig, I'd love to see Glover and Paul Craig fight. Paul Craig is another jiu-jitsu ace, man. It'd be fun to see him fight. You know what I'm saying? Paul's on the come up. Glover is on the come down. Where's Paul, number 8? Yeah, it might be a little low. Maybe you do Glover and like Dominic Reyes or someone like that. I don't know. They're all going to be fun fights. right? Like, these are all big, strong, talented guys who have, like, all the tools in the world to finish however they want. So it'll be nothing but fun fights wherever they wind up lining up. And like I said earlier, I believe that the next thing for Yuri is going to be Yuri versus Jan. It's a Buffalo Trace. I love that shit. You can fucking sponsor me. You're getting the free advertisement already. Yeah. Give me money. Pay for the studio. I don't need a lot of money. At all, bro. At all. My overhead's not very high, thankfully. Women flyweight, Valentina Shevchenko defended her title against Talia Santos. What a fight. I mean, Valentina Shevchenko defended her title for the now 7th time, which is just fucking extraordinary. Go her. She deserves every bit of the clout she's getting right now, man. Like, she's GOAT status for sure. But Talia is a beast. Man, was like winning all the grappling exchanges, was winning all the clinch exchanges, was clearly looked like the stronger person, which is crazy because Valentina like looked like an immovable object whenever Andrade tried to pick her up, and Andrade is known for picking girls up and dropping them on their head. So there's clearly like levels to the core strength that some of these girls have, and Talia's clearly got it. And so if they had given it to Talia, I wouldn't have been surprised. I wouldn't have been upset by it either. I had it 3-2 for Valentina, so I feel like they got it right ultimately at the end of the day. But hey, I ain't too worried about how they're shaking down. All I care about really is how I feel about the fight at the end of the day. Over here in strawweight, it is strawweight, right? It was flyweight. I mean, who's next, bro? I mean, who do you feed to Valentina? I mean, you got Kayla Chikagian, Lauren Murphy, Jessica Andrade, Talia Santos, who she just binked, Alexa Grasso, Manon Ferrot, that French, I believe she's French, maybe she's Canadian. It's a French name. Jennifer Maya. Jennifer Maya is a fun character on the come up, man. I love how she's got really good jiu-jitsu and she can kind of wade off into the striking with reckless abandon, at least with disregard for you taking her down, right? Like, there's something to fighters who are good enough off their back that they feel as though they can walk into the fire without having to be concerned about you shooting, because they're going to strangle you, and it makes them to where, like, they are, like, whenever they can completely disrespect one of the things that you use as a tool in the fight, it makes them to where they have, like, an advantage right there. And so it's a lot of fun whenever you see that type of shit going down. I do not know who you feed Valentina, though. Like, feed her two girls. I'd say feed her Alexa Grasso and Vivian Araujo at the same time. See how it goes. That's my thought on that. But for Talia, I mean, bro, she didn't lose any stock. Like, she's number 4. And she's still number 4. Like, she should not go down at all for taking this L against Valentina Shevchenko. They're fun fights. There's all kind of fun fights, right? Maybe you give her someone like Andrea Lee, right? Somebody's going to go in there and fight real hard. I mean, because she's like a striker, right? It's like her thing, right? So give her someone fun. Maybe don't necessarily make her fight someone that's above her, right? There's only 3 girls above her, and let her kind of get her wits back about her after fighting one of the best. But if she wound up fighting any of these 3 girls in front of her, I wouldn't be upset about that either. And I'm not entirely certain what their schedules are looking like right off the top. But the bottom line is there's nothing but fun matchups for that girl at 19-2, and with the level of knockout ability that she possesses, it's going to be a really fun fight anywhere she goes. And again, Valentina Shevchenko, I don't know what to do. But make her fight a bear. No, really, I don't know what to do. Women's strawweight, we had Zhang Wei Li and Joanna Jędrzejczyk. This was incredible. I couldn't believe the way Wei Li put Jędrzejczyk out. I don't think I've ever seen. It's just a hard game, bro. I hate to see Joanna go out face down, ass up like that, man. Like, you always want to see them right off into the sunset with like a W, right? But like this sport is just not friendly like that, man. And I also wasn't expecting it, man. I thought that she was going to definitely have a few more fights to go. Like, I definitely thought she still had a few more fights to go. But, she's talking about wanting to be a businesswoman and all those other things. And she's just grown as a person. She's got other opportunities available to her where she can make more money by taking less damage. And I think that anybody would want to act the way that she's acting. She's cashed out. She's put in some good work. She's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, if anybody wants to argue that, we're not going to argue. We're going to fight. She's a legend in the sport, and so all the respect to her. I love that DC gave her all the time in the world to say everything she wanted. Like, there was no like pull the mic away energy at all. She deserved her moment, and she was given as much time as she wanted, and I thought that was really dope. And I really appreciate DC and the broadcast team for doing that for her. She's a good girl, and I'm excited that she's going to get to go off and do some big things. I don't think that she's going to trend down at all after retiring. I think that she's got all kinds of influence or viability, with social media and the way things are these days. I think that she's just going to blow up. So I think she's going to continue to do good. I think she's going to parlay her money that she's made and her brand that she's built for herself and parlay it into some really cool stuff. Or at least she's going to try, and I know I'm going to be pulling forward the whole time. Man, nothing but bangers on this card. The next fight was Jake Matthews versus Andre Fialho. Jake Matthews was on some video game shit. Dude looked really great. Like, really, really, really good. Like, looked like me on UFC 4 type shit. Sponsor me, UFC 4. I'm talking about your brand already. Fuck y'all. I'm only gonna run ads from my website and my merch. Fucking fuck y'all. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Buy Armchair Mixed Martial Arts gear at monkeymouse.studios.com. That we don't have merch yet. We'll get there. There's a store. It's like bullshit. You can't buy anything. But it's there. Click it. I'll know if you click it. Oh yeah, I was talking about Jake Matthews. I fucking digressed into bullshitting. Jake Matthews was a fucking beast, bro. Like, his boxing was out of this world. Literally, it was on like a whole other level. Like, he couldn't miss. I think that one of the commentators even was like, Jake Matthews can't miss type energy. And I mean, he made it halfway through the second round. Andre Fialho didn't. He was a tough guy, man. Like, he took a bunch of those shots right on the chin, and like was a tough dude about it. Like, he got to show off his toughness badge, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, man, Jake caught him with a big shot and put him right to sleep, and it was violent. Had his leg like folded up behind him. I'm talking about the scorpion pose or the lawn chair pose, whatever it is, where they drop and their leg folds back up behind them and they like lean back over it, and you can really fuck your leg up. It's really not what you want at all. Thankfully, they have refs in there who know to like take care of it quickly. Shout out the refs. The refs are like the unsung heroes of the whole deal. Like, they do really good jobs in the UFC. I've been to some local events where I feel like they did not do as great a job as they should have. It makes you really appreciate the work that those guys do at the UFC, at that level, right? They don't work for the UFC, but they effectively do. And they're doing a good job. Herb, all those guys do a great job. Jack Della Maddalena looked exceptional. Ramazan Ameev looked great. His wrestling was good, man. Like, he was trying to do what he was trying to do, but Jack was well coached, man, and was able to get out of some of the grappling positions he put him in, some of the clinch positions he put him in, and his body work was just out of this world, bro. Like, really, really out of this world. Hit him in the body like several times, and I think he wound up folding him with a big left hook to the liver. And he wound up turtling up and catching like 3-4 big shots to the side of the head while he was turtled up trying to catch his breath. It's crazy, man, how them body shots, bro, they'll shut you down. Ask DC about it. You take one, you're fine. You take two, you're fine. You keep taking them, you're fine, until all of a sudden you take one and you're not fine anymore. And that's what happened to him, is he took one too many and he suddenly was not fine anymore at all, and he had to turtle up, and Jack was not about to let him off the hook at all, and Jack got the finish. Halfway through the first round. So really, really exceptional performance. Really happy for the guy. Buffalo Trace, man, let me tell you. On the prelims, Sungwoo Choi lost a 3-round decision to Joshua Kulabo. And this is a real fun fight. They banged the whole time. I enjoyed it sincerely. Mahashate, though, man, with a incredible, like, drop you on your face asleep type of knockout over Steve Garcia. Keep an eye out on Mahashate for sure. He's someone who I have a lot of stock in, especially after what he did last night. Brendan Allen got a 3-round decision. He's always good. He's always good. Like, good everywhere the fight goes. Reminds me of almost like a Leon Edwards type, if that makes sense. How Leon's good everywhere. You don't gamble on Brendan Allen losing, because there's nowhere where there's any like exploitatively bad place for him to be in the octagon ever. Things that could happen at middleweight. I mean, I don't believe he's ranked at all. So I mean, if he was to do something, he'd be fighting someone at the end of the rankings, right? Andre Muniz, Chris Weidman, Edmund Shavazian. Chris Weidman's probably still out with his fucking leg being blown apart. So Brad Javara's up there, but I mean, I don't even know where he's at in the rankings if they feel like he needs to be fighting anybody in the top 15 yet. But I know I got a lot of stock in him. The guy's really good, and I wouldn't be upset if they gave him someone in the top 15. Then the only other fight I want to talk about on this card is Silvana Gomez Juarez. Wow. We're talking women's strawweight, girls packing pop, bro. I mean, literally beat Liang with a single right hand. Like, everything else was academic beyond that, right? The left hook that put her like down on the ground entirely was like for the scholars to talk about, for me to talk about, you know what I'm saying? That's it though. That right hand, that 1-2 that she did whenever that girl was walking in on her, was a pretty fantastic fight-ending sequence. So really, really good on her. So again, UFC 275, great card. I enjoyed it from top to bottom. Literally, we had a girl in the early prelims win a bonus. So, and then the fight night ended on Yuri choking out Glover with 28 seconds left in the 5th round. So, I mean, literally from start to finish, it was pure fireworks. But now we're going to take a look back at the fights that happened between 274 and 275. And so there was a Jan Blachowicz versus Alexander Rakic fight card. Blachowicz got the TKO in the 3rd round, a minute and 11 seconds into the 3rd round. The Polish power's still there. You know what I'm saying? Don't sleep on Jan, right? He's just fighting the tip of the spear, and he got caught with a big hook by Glover, who packs big heat, as we saw in at 275. And I believe he's next in line. He turned away an up-and-coming Alexander Rakic, who is a beast. And so, yeah, I think he absolutely deserves the next shot against Yuri. And we're going to see how that goes. Ryan Spann, Superman, got the submission over Ion Cutelaba. Just such long arms, bro. Locks up, chokes some weird spots. And so good on him. It'll be interesting to see what they wind up doing with him. I don't believe he's about to be fighting anybody in the top 15, but we can talk about the bottom guys in the top 15 there. We got Dustin Jacoby, Jimmy Crute, Johnny Walker. Oh, Ryan Spann, there he is. Okay, so he's number 12. Excuse me. I guess typically I see the stat here on my little notes, but I guess I made a mistake on my notes. So I'm sorry, Superman Spann. You're number 12 right now. And so Nikita Krylov, Jamahal Hill. Oh man, Jamahal Hill is a fun fight for him. That would be great. Volkan Ozdemir would be a fun fight for him. Dominic Reyes would be a fun fight for him. The only really one I wouldn't want to see him in would be Paul Craig, just because Paul Craig's so fucking mean with that BJJ, bro. I don't want to see anybody who I like fight Paul Craig. He's gonna break your shit, like for real. He'll fucking break your arm or choke you and hurt your fucking ego, bro. Like that guy's a problem. Let me tell you, he's a problem. But I'm here to talk about Ryan Spann, not fucking fangirl about Bear Jew. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of options is the bottom line, right? There's nothing but killers lined up ahead of him who are all working towards the top as well. And I think John Mahal Hill would be the fight that I'd want to see. I believe I saw something that showed that John Mahal Hill had a fight coming up, and I can't remember who it is. If it's Ryan Spann, I'm going to be fucking elated, is the bottom line. Beyond that, we had Davey Grant got a TKO a little under a minute into the third round over Louis Smolka. Davey Grant got a lot of pop. I mean, it's kind of a salty record, but who doesn't have a salty record in the UFC these days? And so, things that are happening at bantamweight right now are... You got Rafael Alonso, Jack Shore, Sean O'Malley, Ricky Simon, Frankie Edgar, Pedro Munoz, rounding out the bottom third of the top 15 over there. And so, if they feel good about him, he could probably go up and fight any of those guys. But honestly, I don't know if he's on that level yet. These guys are all like really, really fucking badass. Honestly, Sean's probably the most suspect out of them all, and he's fantastic. Oh, I don't know, Frankie Edgar might be even more suspect now. Frankie Edgar's chin's gone. At least it seems like that. God forgive me for saying that. I love Frankie Edgar. I've been a fan for years, but it's been rough, man. It's been rough. I keep hoping they give him someone kind of lower in the rankings so that he can get a good rebound W. We're going to see if they ever decide to do that or not. Caitlin Chikagian won a 3-round decision over Amanda Ribas, which I was expecting, right? Caitlin Chikagian's hands are fucking fire. That's all we're going to talk about on that card. The next card is UFC Fight Night Holm versus Vieira. And Caitlin Vieira got the 5-round decision over Holly Holm. I did not agree with this. I thought it was bad. I thought it was a real bad decision. I didn't agree with it. But, I mean, even DC, I think DC was like, man, there's a judging convention coming up here soon, and I can't wait to go so I can learn how to watch mixed martial arts. Because he picked it wrong, and he felt pretty strongly about it. Michelle Pereira got a really fun win over Santiago Ponzinibbio. Dogfight the whole time. Santiago was a little more technical, but was throwing loopier punches. Michelle was throwing straighter punches down the middle and like teep kicks up the middle, and I think that like teep kick up the middle was probably one of the big differentiators. But Santiago was throwing some really, really good leg kicks and stuff. So they both look good. I have nothing bad to say about either of them, man. Michelle Pierre is ranked number 14 right now, and so there's fights like there's guys like Li Jiling, Geoff Neal, Michael Chiesa, Neil Magny, Sean Brady, Jorge Masvidal. That's probably as high as he's going to get to reach. I mean, you could go as high as Stephen Thompson, Vince Luque, but we're all the way up to number 6 at that point, and he's number 14. So he'd probably land somewhere between number 13 and 8 in his next fight if I was to gamble. They're all fun fights, right? Sean Brady's a beast. I think he's like a real problem. Like a real problem. We're going to see where he winds up landing. Neil Magny's like tying GSP for the number of wins in the division type shit, so he's obviously a problem. Jeff Neal, Hands of Steel, fighting out of Dallas, Texas. I'm always going to be pulling for him. Texas pride, you know what I'm talking about? Lone Star State. But no matter how they wind up going, I think that it's going to be a fun fight, right? Michelle's always a fun fight. That's just the bottom line. He's just now even reeled it in to where he's like holding it together. Chidi Njokwani or Njokwani. Chidi Njokwani. Excuse me for butchering that. God damn. I'm trying my best here. I got a 1A high school football fucking education, bro. I was like, get him through so he can play offensive tackle type of education. But He got a fascinating knockout with about 12 seconds left in the first round. It was emphatic. The dude is on the come up. They're expecting a lot of really, really big things out of him, and as am I. He's a fun fighter. The next fight night was Volkov versus Rosenstruck. I missed the main event, hitting a dab, being an idiot. I didn't think these guys usually start slow. I was expecting it to be a 25-minute bore fest, but it was not. Alexander Volkov, I've gotten to see the fight since. It was 2 minutes and 12 seconds. And, Alexander Volkov's good. He packs maybe a little bit more heat than I gave him credit for. Yeah, it was great. I mean, the way he finished him, he hit him and he knocked him against his cage and stormed him and was just too much. And so what I would expect to be next for old Volkov, I mean, man, he's got to fight someone up the chain a little bit, probably, right? Because he just got the W, so he's now, he might have one more gatekeeper fight blocking someone from coming up before he gets to fight someone up there again. But, he's kind of middle of the pack in terms of the top 15, so you might, I don't know if you want him to be really doing too much gatekeeping. So, they're fun fights, right? Curtis Blades, Tom Aspinall, Tai Tuivasa, Stipe. There's always John Jones floating out there at heavyweight these days, but I don't think that he's anywhere close to getting a John Jones fight or Stipe or Cyril. So, it's probably like Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades, maybe a Chris Dawkins. Who knows? But I know I'm a big Alexander Volkov fan. I came in like, he's going to be a fucking 5-round bore fest. The point is that he's a technical striker. He's a really, really good striker, and he'll pick and choose his shots and not get hurt. And he's gonna win the fight. Typically, he was who I had picked to win the fight. But you can't ever really count out Biggie Boy, considering how he literally hit Hoster over him with a hand grenade to the face. So at any point, Jairzinho can win the fight, and Slep made it really kind of iffy. Movsar Evloev got the 3-round decision over Dan Ige. Dude's 16-0 for a reason. Guy looked faster, crisper. I'm a big 50K Dan Ige fan. And, Evloev, was that dude that night. They're over in featherweight. Let's see what's happening in featherweight real quick. That's Alexander Volkanovski's division right now. So Movsar has moved up to number 10. There's guys like Bryce Mitchell, Giga Chikadze, Josh Emmett, Arnold Allen, Chan Sang Jung, Calvin Guitar up above him. A fight like Giga would be a lot of fun. I think that Movsar fancies himself a wrestler, so Bryce Mitchell could be a fun fight, right? Bryce Mitchell's a real fun dude and a real fun fighter. But they're both on the come up, right? I don't know if you'd want to, at 9 and 10, have them knocking each other off. You'd want, 10 fighting someone between 7 and 5, and 9 fighting someone between 6 and 4 in a perfect world, in Josh's world, right? So, if it's a perfect world in Josh's world, he's fighting someone between Josh Emmett, Arnold Allen, Chen Sang Jung. Josh Emmett's on ice. He's fighting here in just a couple weeks. Arnold Allen, he's on a rocket ship right now. I don't think that they're going to have him fight anybody behind him. Chen Sang Jung just lost a fight to Alexander Volkanovski, so that's probably the guy. I would say Chen Sang Jung would probably be a fun fight for Masvar. But we're going to see what Sean Shelby and them think. At the end of the day, I'm not that guy. Lucas Almeida got a TKO a minute into the 3rd round over Mike Trizano. Real fun fight, 13-1. Keep an eye out for him on the come up. Karine Silva got a submission 4 minutes 55 seconds into the 1st round. Her jiu-jitsu's killer, bro. Watch out for this one. If she's fighting, maybe put some money on her getting a 2nd round submission. 2nd round submissions out of her are probably going to be safe bets. I mean, that's not a safe bet to pick. Literally, the finish and where it's going to go with the parlay on. It's going to be nice. If you nail it, you're going to be drinking Buffalo Trace on me. Sponsor me. This shit's good. Ode Osborne got a first-round knockout over Zaruk Adashev. All these international names, bro, be getting kind of difficult for your boy, especially the more I drink. So coming up, because that's the last of the fights between 274 and 275. Looking forward to 270. Looking forward all the way to 276. The next set of fights between here and there is the UFC Fight Night in Austin, Qatar versus Emmett, which me and my boys are going to be going to. My birthday is the 20th, and it's going to be happening on the 18th. So if you catch me down in Austin, we're having a good time. Fuck with me, you know what I'm talking about. But it's headlined by Calvin Qatar and Josh Emmett, and it's going to be a crazy fight. Like, I'm not going to be missing that one. It's going to be a standing room only. You can probably guarantee that much. Josh Emmett packs all the heat in the world. Only 17, only 2 losses, bro. So, yeah, he's a tough one, bro. Ain't no telling how the fight's going to go. Calvin Qatar's probably, like, got the tighter punches and the more, like, rounded stand-up game, but Josh Emmett's the better wrestler and packs more heat, so it's like an interesting matchup, right? Like a really, really interesting matchup, and I think that everyone, you know who's going to win? The fans. The co-main is Donald Cerrone and Joe Lozon, which is fun, man. This was supposed to be on a card a couple weeks ago, and something happened. Cerrone got sick, and so now it's here, and I get to see him live. Know what I'm talking about? If I had to pick, I'm probably picking Joe Lozon. If I'm being real honest. I got a lot of respect for Cowboy. I got a lot of respect for Joe. But I feel like Joe's been looking a little better in his last couple fights in Cowboy. It's just the bottom line. We got the Dirty Bird, Tim Means, and Kevin Holland. Oh, those are 2 fun characters that we're going to have fighting one another, man. That's fun. That's a fun fight. I gotta go Kevin Holland, right? That's where my heart lies. I'm a big Kevin Holland fan. He's out here saving the world. I think he's like fucking fucked up 3 people at 3 different Waffle Houses at this point type shit. He just seems to always be in like the right place at the wrong time to do some heroic ass shit. And I'm here for it, man. He's a good dude. We got Joaquin Buckley versus Albert Duraev. I don't know nothing about Albert Duraev, but I'm gonna tell you with a name like that, he probably gonna try and wrestle. Joaquin Buckley is super athletic. We're going to see how good his takedown defense and stuff is, more than likely considering the name of the character that he's fighting. I wonder if he's going to bring old boy, Detroit self-defense feller, back into the octagon with him. That'd be great. I'd love that. That was fantastic when they did that last time. Damir Ismagulov versus Guram Karatuladze. Yeah, I don't know either of these guys, and I can't pronounce either of their names, but Damir's 23-1 and Guram's 12-2. Obviously, Damir has the experience advantage, but they both have good records. I don't know nothing about either of them, dog. I hate to just be that fucking straightforward. Julian Marquez, though, I know that name, the Cuban Missile Crisis I'm talking about, fighting Gregory Rodriguez. I actually know both these guys. Gregory Rodriguez was the champ over at LFA. He won the title and immediately got brought up, and Julian Marquez got brought in from the Contender Series, so that'll be a fun fight. Probably going to go Julian, right? Julian's just a tough guy who knows how to grind. Real tough dude, knows how to grind. Yeah, that's my pick, just with the way he fights and the mind that guy has. Yeah, I think he's a good fight. So then we have UFC Fight Night. Sarukian versus Gamrot. Armand Sarukian versus Mateusz Gamrot. Armand's 18-2 and Mateusz is 20-1. This is a lightweight fight. Honestly, y'all, I ain't too familiar with either of these guys. Yeah, like off the top. I wish I'd maybe done a little bit more research. before I hopped on the podcast for these guys, because I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be watching, and I'm going to know who they are after that. So we'll wind up seeing what I have to say by the time I'm doing the 276 review. So this is going to be the most recent fight night whenever I go to do my 276 review. So I'll certainly have some pretty fresh thoughts on them. Chris Curtis and Rodolfo Vieira. I like Chris Curtis a lot. Rodolfo Vieira is 8-1 on the come up though, so we're going to see. And then 276, you got Israel Adesanya versus Jared Cannonier. That beat's been building for a while between them two. I got to pick Israel Adesanya. Got a lot of love for Jared. He's a real sweet dude. He's into crystals and vibrations, and he's like a solid guy. Like a real sweetheart fella. And like I would be elated if he won the world championship, to be entirely honest. But Israel Adesanya is an anime nerd. Dude got his mama car in Kurama Orange. Kurama is the nine-tailed fox from Naruto. I literally run a Naruto podcast called The Konoha Companion. So birds of feather flock together, gang. He's a nerd, I'm a nerd, anime dorks, know what I'm talking about. So I am mad at the guy. Yeah, Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway. God, I hope Max Holloway gets it done. I could watch Max and Volkov fight at the top of the featherweight division for the rest of forever. So, bite me. I really do believe that Alexander Volkov won the first fight, and I really do believe that Max Holloway won the second fight. Like, the stat lines for the first fight and the second fight were literally flip-flopped. Like Max literally had Alex's stats from the first fight, and Alex had Max's stats from the first fight and the second fight. So I feel like if there was like truly coherent judging across the board, Max would have won the second fight. But I'm not the judges, man. I just know that in my heart, I watched it live. I thought that Max Holloway won the fight. Maybe I'm a fucking bopper, though. I will admit that I'm a fucking Max Holloway ultra bopper. Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira. I can't even say fucking Sean Strickland's name without laughing. He's such a alpha Brad fucking dork. I can't get enough of him, bro. He's talking shit about people on TikTok. Not doing it on TikTok. He's talking shit about people who use TikTok. He lives in like a fucking rundown one bedroom, like just piece of fucking shit, here to train and whoop ass. And like, he's a fucking killer. Like, the dude is literally eating, sleeping, breathing mixed martial arts right now, and I am not mad at it. And he's also speaking his mind, right? Even if it's controversial, even if it's shit that I don't necessarily agree with. I love that he's willing to put himself out there and be his honest self and, you know, fuck what everybody thinks. Sean Strickland's doing Sean Strickland things. And so, I want him to win against Alex Pereira. I know that everybody wants the Alex Pereira rocket ship to land in the octagon with Israel Adesanya because he knocked Israel Adesanya out in a kickboxing match back in the day. But blah, I'm a big Sean Strickland fan. I'm not a big Alex Pereira fan. Not out of any I don't have any malice towards Alex Pereira or anything like that. I just haven't developed. He hasn't done anything that's been like truly endearing for me yet. He hasn't said that thing. He hasn't done that thing to make me be like, oh, fuck that guy. Whereas Sean has both done things in the octagon and said things with his stupid ass mouthful that have made me really fall in love with the character. He's an endearing fella, and I'm into it. And I want him to win. That's the bottom line. We got Lauren Murphy versus Miesha Tate. We gonna see two tough girls. Two tough girls, bro. I don't know how to pick that. That's a coin flip, dog. Pedro Munoz versus Sean O'Malley. Oh boy, this is a step up for Sean O'Malley. This is like the real test now. We're gonna see just how real Sean O'Malley is. And you know, we can go off into the prelims and stuff, but that's like the main card for UFC 276, bro. We're going to see how it goes. If I got to pick, I'm picking Sean O'Malley in that fight. He's young and on the come up, and I tend to gamble on guys on the come up instead of guys who are like defending the old guard type shit. Pedro Munoz been around for a while. Sean O'Malley's on the come up. Dude's got that like young man rocket ship momentum behind him. I think that's how I think it's going to pan out with him getting something pretty spectacular going on out there. But at any rate, Armchair Army, guys, I appreciate y'all, and gals, I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Check us out on the social media platforms. Check it out at monkeymouthstudios.com. Love y'all, man. Love you guys to death. I appreciate all the support, even though, you know, we're going to see where this thing goes, man. I'm here for the long haul. I love mixed martial arts. I'm a big fan. I remember calling people whenever fucking the Ultimate Fighter 1 was going on, and watching that rocket ship take off, man. I've been there for a while now. You know, I can't say I was there for UFC 1, man, but like as a 32-year-old human, I can say I've been pretty fucking ride or die. I mean, literally for over half my life now, I've been watching this shit pretty religiously. So either way, Buffalo Trace got me rambling, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Armchair Army gang, it's Joshua. Peace out, y'all.
Monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth.